Our welcome gala is a hit in Melbourne. See how we welcome the Brevard County community to learn about osteopathic medicine and our student doctors. Admitted Student Day is just around the corner. Find out what you can expect and why you should attend. We catch up with Burrell College President John Hummer to learn about updates and milestones with our medical school. It's an interview you want to check out. Our financial health segment is on the way. Learn about what steps to take when it comes to buying a home. It's never too early to prepare. Don't miss out. All that and much more. So let's get started. Hey everybody, welcome to the DL Pulse, a podcast about osteopathic medicine, community, and education. I'm your host, Sydney Alvarez. Now this podcast is brought to you by Burrell College of Osteopathic Medicine and sponsored by GECU. Learn how GECU is a credit union that can help you meet your financial goals. Visit gecu.com for more. Now, Admitted Student Day is just around the corner. It's an opportunity to learn about Burrell College. Here to tell us a little bit more, I'm joined by Natalie Davis. Natalie, she is the Director of Admissions. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I'm always excited when you're here on the show because you always are so insightful and have some really wonderful information for all of us.
Thank you.
So we're talking about Admitted Student Day. Can you give us a quick overview about this day and what students can expect?
Yeah, for sure. So Admitted Student Day is really just our opportunity to welcome all of our admitted students to campus, to celebrate their accomplishment of getting into medical school, and give them a chance to connect with their future classmates, get to know our faculty and staff on campus, get to know their campus community, and to give their guests, their families, a little bit of a preview into our campus community too.
It's so much fun. We were able to attend both the one in Florida and the one in New Mexico, and I mean, the atmosphere is just energetic. There's so much synergy, so to speak, between the incoming students, their families, staff and faculty. Paint a picture for us.
Yeah, it's definitely a celebratory atmosphere. For some of the students, it's the very first time that they've been on campus, and so there is that excitement about getting to know where they're going to be, at least for the first couple of years that they're in medical school. Certainly getting to connect with those future classmates, start to build the friendships that are going to sustain them through the time that they're in the program too. So it's just really happy. It's exciting, and it's a milestone for students ahead of starting medical school.
And through the beauty of editing, people are able to see video from both events last year, and they're able to see this as we're discussing this conversation or going through this conversation. How does this event help students transition to medical school here at Burrell College?
Yeah, I think a lot of times students come in with questions about, what they're going to encounter when they get to medical school, what are their schedules going to be like, who is going to be there to support them along the way as they're going through their program. And so we try to cover a lot of that material and a lot of the presentations that students will get that day, a lot of the presentations that their families will get to. Family members are often curious, what is this going to be like for my student, especially if maybe they haven't had a student go through medical school before. And so we want to aim to answer a lot of those questions and again start to give those students an idea of, okay, once I do get there, once orientation starts, if I have a question about curriculum, this is who I can go to. If I need help setting up a study schedule, this is who I can go to.
And it's very involved, right? Because if I remember correctly, they can come in with their family members and they all tour the grounds and speak to faculty. Tell me about that.
Yeah, so we have several different faculty panels that'll go on throughout the day, both for students and their families. We'll give some insight into the curriculum, to what their schedules look like. Students will have the chance to chat with their basic science faculty, as well as the clinical preceptors, the physician faculty that are going to be supporting them throughout their different studies.
Well, and it's not just about Burrell College. Of course, that's the emphasis, but it's also about the surrounding community. And we help educate them about, for example, in New Mexico, Cruces, or in Florida, Melbourne.
Yes, we are partnering with different groups, different community groups that can give some insight on fun things to do in the community, insight on kind of where to find housing, where most of our students do. So in addition to kind of getting that foundational information of what they're going to need, the tools they're going to need at the medical school, it's a great opportunity to preview, where you might be living or where your grocery store is going to be. Those really practical things that if you've never been to the community, it can be really helpful to get a preview of that.
So let's get some basics out of the way. It's probably what I should have asked at the very beginning. When is Admitted Student Day in each location?
Yes, so in Florida, Admitted Student Day will be Saturday, April 5th. And in New Mexico is Saturday, April 26th.
And as I mentioned, it's like a full day of activities.
A full day of activities. We start around 8 in the morning, go through different programming throughout the day till about 4:30 in the afternoon, and then each will conclude with an open house in each of our campus buildings.
Right, and so obviously you get a taste of student life, and for those of you who are watching us right now, student life involves being in what we call the Bear Den here in the Las Cruces campus. There's a lot of activity here, as you can see, so it's part of student life, right?
Yes, exactly.
So tell me a little bit about the Burrell admissions process. How does it work? Say if somebody's thinking about, medical school, how does it work? Where do they start?
Yeah, so we have a rolling admissions process. So this is something that we're still actively reviewing applications, we're interviewing students and even offering admission. So there are students in that process who may not yet have found out that they're an admitted student, but that may be coming along. So we may have even more that are anticipating attending. But basically now through the middle of April, students can submit a primary application through a COMIS. If they meet our minimum requirements, they're invited to complete our secondary application, and then our team screens those applications. We invite students to interview, and then they go through that final review process to determine kind of that admissions outcome.
Very thorough.
Very thorough.
But people shouldn't be frightened of the process because we're there to help them every step of the way.
Exactly, yes. We have a super responsive staff, even if a student hasn't applied yet, but they have questions, they're curious, we always welcome those questions and can support them in navigating that process.
What are some unique aspects of Burrell College that make it stand out, say, from other schools?
Yeah, I mean, outside of our mission, which I feel like is really unique to our identity, the thing that I always tell applicants and students is that our community stands out. At least to me, I think we have a pretty uniquely supportive community here. I think in terms of just the way that our students are, they take good care of each other, they share resources, they support each other by attending, different initiatives and club events that they have going on. I think the open door policy that our college adopts also emphasizes that accessibility across faculty and staff. And so I think that's something that becomes palpable, especially when students attend these events that we have. They really get a firsthand glimpse of how supportive, how uniquely supportive our community is.
Absolutely. What advice would you give to an incoming student to help them, say, succeed in their first year?
Yeah, well, I would say definitely attend Admitted Student Day, but through that, really kind of, pay attention to the services and things that are highlighted, and kind of start to map out in your head those supports, those resources that are available to you, so that when you get here, medical school is hard, that sense of overwhelm is going to set in for everybody, but you already kind of have that foundation. You kind of know, okay, if I encounter a challenge, I know I can go to this person, I can go to my ed specialist, or I can go to my faculty advisor, and I kind of already have an idea of who that is, and I can connect with them for that support.
Natalie, can you share maybe an experience that you had last year with either one of the Admitted Student Days, maybe a memory that stands out, an experience or a success story? Can you share something, special that kind of stuck with you?
Yeah, I mean, I think just the atmosphere on both of those days was absolutely incredible. It was so fun. Students, their families especially, I think those students that brought, parents or significant others to the events really had a great opportunity to feel enveloped by our community and really even built upon the excitement that they already had to attend. So that resonates, just kind of the overall atmosphere of the day. And I think those students that did attend were able to kind of feel solid in their foundation and their understanding of the layout of our buildings and our resources and our community to really know what they were getting into once they arrived.
You know what really stood out to me that I just enjoyed watching unfold in front of me was our admitted students speaking to our current students. And really getting firsthand knowledge as to what it takes, what is expected, and really just kind of blossoming from that.
Yes, and we definitely will have lots of those interactions prepared. We have current students who are set to participate throughout the day, and certainly during kind of the downtime when there's the best opportunity just to have those side conversations at lunch, at the open house. We're really excited to be able to recreate that again this year.
Natalie, can you go ahead and look at that camera and tell people again, remind us the dates for Admitted Student Day and give them the information?
Yes, so Admitted Student Day in Florida is going to take place on Saturday, April 5th, and in New Mexico, Saturday, April 26th, and we're really looking forward to it.
Natalie, thank you so much for being on the show. It's always a sincere pleasure.
Likewise, thank you.
We'll be right back. Our financial health segment is on the way. Learn about what steps to take when it comes to buying a home. It's never too early to prepare. Don't miss out. But up next, we catch up with Burrell College President John Hummer to learn about updates and milestones with our medical school. It's all part of an interview you don't want to miss. That's next after the break.
Here's to the unseen late nights, learning curves, and your perseverance. The behind the scenes is where the magic happens. It's where you shape your process and where you don't let anything hold you back. GECU is there to support you through it all with the products and services that you trust, so you can focus on making your own path. Become a member online now at GECU.com.
I got it! I got it! Well, let me do that!
Hey everybody, welcome back. As you can see, I'm joined by a very special guest, President John Hummer of Burrell College of Osteopathic Medicine. Sir, thank you for being on the show.
Thanks, Sid.
So we are coming to you from the rooftop of the Melbourne Hotel in downtown Melbourne, Florida, right where our campus is located. Tell us about the history of Burrell with the Melbourne community.
Well, it's been a great relationship. It really started back in 2016. And as the story goes, like anything in life, any type of new endeavors based on relationships, and there was mutual introductions between individuals with our college in New Mexico. And from that discussion, the president of Florida Institute of Technology had an interest in learning more about what we were doing with New Mexico State University,
right.
The partnership. And so they came out and visited. We visited here. And in Brevard County, there is a large 2,000-bed hospital system, Health First. There's the county facility, parish. There's a 3-hospital system now that Orlando Health has. And there was no medical education that was being done. And so obviously when we look at a new location, like a lot of osteopathic medical schools that grow, you really want to say, well, how is the community going to receive us? And when I say community, also the medical community, because that third and fourth year with the clerkships and the rotations is very important. And so we started about 5 years ago, we opened a clinical campus and we started sending our students from New Mexico here, and they were very well received. And then new relationships were established, and it became apparent that it was time to add another campus. And we matriculated the first class this last July, and it's gone great. And and outside the medical community, the entire community of Melbourne, Brevard County, all the stakeholders that we've encountered have been nothing but supportive. So we couldn't be any more blessed to be here.
You know, and Burrell is about reaching out to the underserved and helping the community. For example, here in Florida, I know that there's a shortage of doctors, 7,000 doctors just for 2025. In 2035, there's going to be a shortage of about 18,000 doctors. Burrell is helping fill a major gap.
Absolutely, and I think when I talked about the relationship with Florida Tech and with our hospital partners and the community at large, it's really about the mission, and you have to have mission fit, mission alignment, and our mission definitely has been to recruit new students that have a passion to go out into the workforce, the physician workforce, but just not go out, but look at areas of the country that they can make a difference in where there's medically underserved areas. And Florida is no different than New Mexico, and probably no different than a lot of parts, throughout the country in that physician shortage. And so we're just doing our part. There's great medical schools here that we're joining that have been here a long time, and we're just playing our part to where we can help make an incremental difference to improve the lives here in Florida, just as we're doing in New Mexico, in Southwest in El Paso, our neighbor in Arizona, the state of Texas. So we're just, again, doing our part.
So definitely community, John, just as you mentioned. Burrell, we've been very fortunate because we've established these community ties. Tell us about some of the partnerships that we have.
You bet. Brevard County is one of the longest counties, if not the longest in Florida. It's 75 miles from the north to the south. And so if we start up in the northern area, we have a relationship with Parish Healthcare, which is the county facility, county supported. It has an affiliation with Cleveland Clinic. And then Palm Point Behavioral Health is another affiliate of ours as well. Then as we work down into Rockledge area, just north of Melbourne, we get into the Orlando Health Hospitals that are in Rockledge. They also have one in Sebastian and here in Melbourne, so it's a 3-hospital system. And then here in Melbourne is the Center of Health First. Health First spans the entire county.
Yes.
It's about 2,000 beds, 4 hospitals. And their largest facility, Holmes Regional, is here in Melbourne. And then we also have Circles of Care, which is a behavioral health network, and then the Brevard Health Alliance, which is an FQHC, and then hundreds and hundreds of physicians that are both aligned with those hospitals, but also in private practice. So again, we're just very blessed with these relationships, and they're very supportive of us and our students.
Right, and it just means that there's all these partners for our students to be working with, aligning themselves with, really bettering the whole Florida community.
Absolutely, and in the exposure that our students will have, just like in other parts of the country, when they do their 3rd and 4th rotations at these facilities, they're going to have established relationships with mentors, physicians, and then when they get out of their residencies, they'll have those relationships, and a lot of that leads to them coming back into the community. And we're also working with Health First on developing new graduate medical education programs, GME programs, residencies. And the importance of that is, and Florida is one of the leaders in the nation, that if you do medical school in Florida and you do a residency in Florida, 78% will stay in the state. So by having residencies here locally, that's just going to be an added bonus to fulfill our mission.
John, we can't let you go without talking about our amazing gala that we just had in Florida. I mean, close to 300 people were there. Tell me about the gala.
Well, it was fantastic. Great turnout, excellent event. Again, it was really a night for us to say thank you, to show gratitude to all the folks that we just talked about. Not only our hospital partners, but Florida Tech, the leadership there, the staff, the faculty, the elected officials in the community, the Florida Hospital, the Florida Osteopathic Medical Association as well. Economic development organizations, chamber organizations, and it was our way of really showcasing what's most important. That's our medical students.
Our students,
for them to meet our students and to tour the medical school. And
people are seeing the video right now. It looks absolutely amazing. We had our students there showcasing the OMM lab, the simulation labs. I mean, it just looks amazing.
And it's fitting because, as I said from the beginning of our talk, without the community support, we wouldn't be here. So what better way than to have an event to say thank you and to show them what they helped create.
Awesome. John Hummer, thank you so much for being on the show and taking the time to speak with us.
Appreciate it.
We'll be right back.
Thanks. Yep.
Our financial health segment is on the way. Learn about what steps to take when it comes to buying a home. It's never too early to prepare. Don't miss out.
Your time is now. Right here at the Burrell College of Osteopathic Medicine, we have a 99% graduate residency placement and more than 850 physician preceptors, plus a simulation department, gross anatomy, and research labs. We offer Mission Medicine, a community-based learning experience, with 2 campus locations, New Mexico and Florida. Go to burrell.edu and apply today. And remember, your time is now.
Hey everybody, welcome back to our financial health segment with GECU. And I'm joined by a very special guest, as you can see here, Julieta Vasquez. Thank you for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
She is the Vice President for Mortgage, and I'm really excited to have you here.
I'm excited to be here, thank you.
So we wanted Julieta to be here to just share a little bit about GECU so that we can learn about GECU. So, I want to start with, can you describe how your credit union was founded?
Sure, it's actually a very unique story. Back during the Great Depression, GECU was founded by 11 people who contributed each $5. It only took $5 to grow GECU into an over $4 billion credit union
Think
today.
about that. Yeah, and $5 back then, that was a lot.
Yes.
Oh
yes, it
my
was.
gosh. Well, let's talk about products and services. What does GECU offer? Because you're more than just a financial institution.
Oh yes, of course. We offer products and services for every walk of life, every need really. From new accounts to consumer loans to mortgage lending to business lending. We're here for everybody to meet anybody's needs.
And cars.
Yes, cars.
I just say that because I just got a car, but for cars as well, right?
Yes.
So what is the credit union difference? Explain that to us, because people hear the word credit union, but they might not necessarily understand what that means. Can you enlighten us?
Sure. Credit unions, or a credit union like GECU, such as us, we are non-for-profit, which means that we're owned by our membership. So when you have an account at a credit union or with us at GECU, you are part owner of that credit union, and your money goes to work to give back to the community that we serve.
And GECU certainly does give back to the community, because if you live in West Texas, Las Cruces, you can see everything that GECU does for our community. And let's talk about really what's down your alley: mortgages, homes, right? Mm-hmm. When is the best time to purchase a home?
That's a great question, Sid. Actually, it just depends. Everybody's situation is different. Therefore, everybody's best time to purchase their first home or a second home, if they prefer, is unique. Therefore, we encourage and we would like, for you to reach out to a very experienced mortgage loan officer with us at GECU Mortgage. Mm-hmm. You can reach out through gecu.com, and we'd be happy to let you know if this is the right time for you.
People say that your home is your number one investment and trying to get started, right? Mm-hmm. How should one get pre-qualified? How does that work?
It's actually not a very complex process. Mm-hmm. Usually, you just really need to provide simple information, such as the last month's worth of your pay stubs, mm-hmm. the last 2 years worth of your income tax returns, proper ID or a valid form of ID, and a social security card. That's really what you need in order to get the process started. And as easy as it may sound, or as unbelievable as it may sound, right? Mm-hmm. You just need to reach out to your mortgage loan officer at gecu.com, and we'll walk you through every step of the way.
It's really going to open the door for you, right?
Yes, it's not only going to open the door for you, but it's going to save you some time and some sanity too. Because once you get your pre-qualification, you're going to know what's within your budget. Therefore, you'll be able to search for homes that are within your budget, realistically looking at what it is that that you need and that you want, and you'll be able to make an offer on the home.
Let's talk about credit, right? How important is credit when it comes to home buying?
Well, credit is pretty important, because not only does it help the lender determine the borrower's ability to repay debt, but it also helps, and it's a very huge factor in determining the interest rate that the person qualifies for.
Well, so let's talk about that. Are interest rates still increasing?
They're not increasing, Sid. They're not. There's been slight increases, but not anything substantial. They're very stable at the moment. And here at GECU Mortgage, we offer very competitive rates. So if you reach out to your loan officer, we can most definitely let you know what you qualify for.
Awesome, perfect. Mm-hmm. So what kind of documents do you need or are needed during the home loan process?
So during the home loan process, like I mentioned earlier, it's very simple. In order to get you started, you just need to provide the income tax returns for the last 2 years, your pay stubs, a valid form of ID, and your social security card. As we need any additional information, then your mortgage loan officer will instruct you on what we need.
So we got the chance to chat a little bit before we started taping, and I asked you, hey, is it a buyer's market, a seller's market? What do you think?
It's a seller's market currently still, prices are still not dipping as much as we'd like them to, but we're hopeful for what's coming the rest of the year and keeping an eye on the interest rates.
And and then one last question for our future doctors. They're focused on their education right now, but eventually they're gonna be doctors. They're gonna be making that income. They're gonna be looking for homes. What kind of advice would you share with them as they prepare for their future when it comes to home buying?
Well, most definitely learn what it is that you're looking for in a home, right? Not only the budget, but what are your wants? What are your needs? Make a list, and have that in mind. And of course, keep an eye on credit, making sure that payments are maintained timely, that the credit score is higher, right, in order to qualify, because the higher the credit score, the lower interest rate you can qualify for, type of thing. And also just save for down payment. That's also what you need to
That's key,
plan
right?
for.
You got to save. Absolutely.
Yes.
Miss Julieta, thank you so much. Can you look at that camera and just tell people how they can get more information?
Of course. If you would like to reach out to us at gecu.com, we'd be happy to walk you through the entire process. There's also a lot of great tools on our website that you can take advantage of, such as our mortgage payment calculator. If you want to determine, based off of a price point, what the payment would be, you have a lot of free tools available to you there as well.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
So that's our show. If you have questions or story ideas, you can send us an email. Our email is communications@burrell.edu. You can also find us on our social media platforms. Our handle is Burrell College. I'm Sidney Alvarez, your host. Thanks for joining us, and until next time.